Maseko in him. His ma means to have, his Seko means forever. Ma/Seko, Mas H echo, as pronounced. Name given to live in he for eternity. The glory that it calls carries under the sky and the womb of the earth. For good reason. It is not possible to live forever as a born soul. Before his time, Meshach or Meshach, like his ancient origin, claims to be from the 12 connected tribes of Judas. Maseko is the translation that got lost in the dialects of Bantu movements over time, and as they mingled with many influences across within the clashes of civilizations over time. But Maseko equals Meshach equals Meshach, all those names related to the Israel of Judas. What about the Bantu? His cradle of the branches of the royal lineages that are part of it. These multi-units are like the Luando, and this one is the last born because he is the father and is the son. Him, old. Maseko was a tribal leader, a traditional teacher. He was a tribal judge, a man of wisdom, a ruler of the country, the king of lineages, the Lunda nation, the tribes of southern Congo, from northwestern Zambia to northeastern Angola, were believed that they're coming from the rising sun. Maseko was a healer, a commander to whom all matters of sorcerers and their sorcery, traditional mystic and magic were entrusted when the moon slumbers in the sources of the rivers, which gush their waters at the heart and of the waterfalls of the equator, crossing the lines of the tropics of Cancer, which open its mouth leading and directing the flows towards the southern savannah, while returning back from their night mystical journey in the mist of the southern regions of Africa, as it was said in Crawls of the Wise, that him, old Maseko, once roamed the jungle with courage, fearing nothing to take before him. Dutch, English, French, Portuguese in wars he fought, and all with his warriors in defending the source of their birthplace and heritage. With only one poisoned spear, he could take his military operation to a victory, believing in the highest mountains which beaten the drums of the spiritual and mystical resonance of these ancestors to hypnotize his opponents in favor of him, and his people to battle with less aggressivity to weaken enemies. So, it's truly this place of which my grandmother always dreamed, called Akaya, while she called them Buya Akaya, welcome home. All the time, when she opened these doors each to her offspring and to other visitors of all brands who visited her. It was Maseko's home back then, and so far, it's still his Maseko genesis if he ever must be found, as it's a place where one never sealed it originality, but can only feel it within him or her, a place where the sound of mountains, valleys, and plateaus bleeds oral story tells, colonial histories, sold as a treasure trove of teachings that taught him since childhood, as he sometimes recalled, how it was recited at cultural events, at rituals and other traditional gatherings and important ceremonies, when the Colon books has missed many pages of truth and replaced with unthinking account, like one will say it until the lion tells his side of the story. The tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. Maseko was a conqueror of the southern tribal lands who could hold back his red war flag to the last dust and lay down a mystical powder spreading the spirit of Ubuntu over his men to ensure their survival. Maseko was those hands of my ancestors who nurture and praise the first deceased ancestors, considered gods and goddesses who represent us all beyond, calling them to bring more rainy and sunny days to grow crops in our fields, to allow the green earth to be for the benefit of animals and humans, to vibrate the circle of heavenly will and the recycling of life. They called them the fallen from the sky, Amazulu, as this name taken by his cousins in the KwaZulu natal. They are also from Maseko, the Ngoni who's the ancestor of the primeval land, and it is here that Maseko the son, who ironically rebelled, and will immigrate from Akaya to the modern world, leaving behind everything, who on the other hand could all first keep a place in the rising sun, as those ancestors of his the once did, for this place of warm and cozy savannah, forest of torrential rains, long Kalahari Desert, which subordinates their nephews and neighbors the Khoisan people of the Click languages to their origins unaffected. Behold, Maseko, as the world marked with the New World Order has become home of globalization, as this generation without borders and without countries feels, men and women of the four corners of the earth has become like one village, with the new technology taking over all heads and all minds, from science advanced geniuses and technology engineering of high satellite and human communication speeds, all with finger snap just click, you are there. The man-machine magic has as arrived and science once again in main scene of reality, no longer fiction. Connections of cities with concrete walls and electronic fences, cyber warfare rapidly emerging, taking over the free and natural habitat, which Maseko once called his home, of the Maseko, Angoni land, a place of where animism begins to disappear replaced by cables, Athenas of fiber optic invading all mountains, that were before a place of ritual, a place to which we one time once banished by new movements of Western religions, Christianity, Islam, superstition was the label, and this is the reason used to convince his great Maseko to leave behind what they knew from birth time, that the better world is with religions and they shall not lack for anything by pursuing this path of lifetime. If this is the case today, then I know that I'm on a quest.
And as the time is changing, what is the place of Maseko in the plot? Is there a bound mind finding you?